Well, it looks like Nikola has yet again caught the eye of one of the EV industry's most well-respected individuals, this time by the name of Dan Ives. We've already had Sandy Munro come out and give his honest opinion on Nikola's battery and fuel cell trucks after having driven both of them at their Coolidge, Arizona facility. And to yet another surprise of the Nikola skeptics, we now have Dan Ives, an analyst at a firm called Wedbush, come out and reinstate his bullish prospects for Nikola after he sat down with the company's CFO Kim Brady for a one-on-one talk at Wedbush's EV forum last month. And ironically, Dan also happened to recently announce a $1,400 price target for the EV community's darling company, Tesla. Dan has actually been bullish on Tesla for a very long time, and his thesis has been thoroughly validated by the insane delivery numbers and growth Tesla has pulled all year. And so the fact that he's extremely intrigued by Nikola Motors and their progress really shuts up a lot of the skeptics. In this video, I'll be giving you guys a breakdown on Dan's most recent interview with Nikola's executives to truly understand the massive opportunity he is seeing in Nikola stock. But before we get into it, guys, make sure to drop me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. This interview I'm going to be playing was recorded around the middle of December at the Wedbush EV forum, where Kim Brady, the CFO of Nikola, spent around 30 minutes answering Dan's questions about Nikola's plan for the next year or so. I've linked the recording down in the description in case you guys want to watch it for yourself, but basically I'm going to be mainly playing the parts where Kim shared some truly critical information about the future of the company and its delivery goals. And I'll be pausing throughout his answers to give you guys a quick summary and my own opinions on what Kim said. So without further ado, let's get started.
Kim, I appreciate you coming on, as always, with these. Obviously, it's been a big year for Nikola. I think successes in terms of, paving the way on sort of the vision. So I think maybe let's just start there. I mean, like when we think about 2021, let's just think about the targets that were set and, of course, chip shortage and everything else, and maybe sort of how you're executing and, what you think have been some of the, I think the clear highs.
And I'm excited to be on the Buyers Chat this morning. 2021 has been a challenging year. However, we have very much focused on execution, and we are delivering on execution. What we have stated is that in Q4 we would deliver up to 25 what we call pre-production trucks, meaning these are pre-series, and that we will actually start production by end of March, and we are on target to accomplish that. I think you already know that we have both Gamma and Prius pre-series trucks on the road, accumulating miles on public road, and they are going through extensive validation and testing. And our manufacturing facility have been working hard to build the trucks. And so, we were very careful when we said up to 25 trucks, because we feel confident in terms of we will be able to build those trucks and have them offline. We are working with customers as well as dealers in terms of schedule as to when they would actually receive those trucks. And we have also made an announcement about next week, TTSI, a port operator where we'll be delivering a couple of battery electric trucks at the port. And we're pretty excited about that too. So this year has been very much focused on execution and meeting milestones that we have promised. Of course, supply chain continues to be a challenge. And we talked about previously on our earnings call that when it comes to battery allocation, still that's very tight. And battery modules and packs, that's important for us, making sure that we are receiving enough packs for our trucks, as well as there are constraints with respect to e-axle as well as chips. And so we are working through those challenges, and we think some of those challenges will be worked through by Q1 of 2022. And we are trying to receive confirmation from our suppliers, key critical component suppliers, in terms of the timing as well as the quantity, so that we have a clarity as to what we can build each quarter for next year.
So right off the bat, I want to mention the fantastic job that Kim Brady's doing here to properly explain everything to Dan. Kim is generally showing a lot of confidence, and there's a sense of excitement behind his words, which is super rare to see from a company's chief financial officer. But moving on to his answer, Kim basically gave us an idea of how many BEV trucks Nikola planned to build in 2021 and why the number of trucks has been so low, which is primarily because of the complicated supply chain situation. From what I understand, Kim is saying that Nikola's biggest challenge right now isn't their manufacturing capacity, but rather their supply of key critical components for the trucks like the chips, the e-axles, and the battery packs. He also mentioned that he expects supply chain clarity to show up in the Q1 of this year and more production, importantly, that will lead to Nikola beginning volume production of the Trebi EV by the end of March. And so this most definitely is a very critical catalyst for Nikola.
And talk about potential customers. Obviously they're always coming by the facility all the time. You're engaged with them. How has that changed, especially when we're thinking about the vision on hydrogen? Even if I think back a year ago or 18 months ago to where it is today, how have those conversations changed?
We have two products. As you know, we have Nikola Tre BEV for short haul, metro operation and distribution, and drayage operations. And that's the truck that we're building now, and we'll be delivering to our dealers as well as customers in Q4 as well as Q1 and into 2022. As you know, customers are excited. The fact that now we have what we call pre-series production version of the truck. And so these are real truck that will be tested on public roads hauling freight. And so you'll be operated in the environment. Many of our truck customers, what they're looking for is to be able to test for 90 to 120 days. And then based on meeting operating parameters, there will be follow-on orders. So what you have seen is that we have announced several LOIs this year, and all of those LOIs describe some pilot testing and operating parameters with respect to uptime and reliability that we need to meet, and then the follow-on volume. And we anticipate most of our LOIs will be structured similarly. And we have a number of discussions that are going on with customers, potential customers right now. And there are certain segment of those discussions where those discussions are at final stage. When we say final stage, very close signing LOIs. And we have some LOIs that have been signed, and then ultimately that will get announced. And so customers are getting excited because they are getting a real truck. And what's great about Nikola Tre BEV is that it's really a European design, flat nose, shorter wheelbase, tighter turning radius, and longer range. We are talking about 300 to 350 mile range. And so customers are excited to test our truck because it's ideal for short haul application. And so when they think about now being able to order trucks, and they are really excited because until now we have talked about alpha version, beta version, gamma version, and now we have trucks that we can actually deliver to our dealers and customers. When it comes to fuel cell trucks, as you know, we have built 7 Nikola Tre fuel cell alpha, 2 in Ulm, Germany, 5 here in Arizona, and they are going through validation testing. We have committed to place them in customers' hand. In January, they will go to Anheuser-Busch for road testing and hauling beer, and then a couple will go to TTSI for the port operation. And so we are really excited about our fuel cell truck because it's ideal for medium haul application. But it can also be ideal for port operations where they run trucks 20 hours a day and it's slip seating arrangement. And so when one shift is done, essentially you got a second driver using that same truck within 15 minutes. And so as long as fuel is available, potentially as long as you have the right type of truck, such as Nikola Tre fuel cell, where you have capability of going to perhaps 500-mile range, yet at the same time, it could be used for short-haul operations. And so we think we've got a very flexible product. We're excited about it. Next year, we'll likely build anywhere from 15 to 20 beta version of Nikola Tre fuel cell. And then beginning of 2023, it will be the gamma version, and we go into production in the second half of 2023. So we think we will have 2 products that addresses both short haul and medium haul applications. And we would submit to you that there's no competitor that's out there are able to bring 2 products to be able to address both short haul and medium haul, especially by 2023.
So in this part of the interview, Kim basically shares an extremely important detail about how and why Nikola is signing these LOI agreements with customers. Since obviously electric trucks are such a brand new technology, many customers are pretty nervous about adding these trucks to their fleets immediately. So these customers often want to test out a few pre-series trucks from Nikola for about 3 months or so through these LOI agreements. And if the trucks fit their duty cycles and their usage cases, then the company will go ahead with the rest of the order. This allows Nikola some time to lock in the supply of components to build the trucks, and in my opinion, gives the company a lot more exposure to other new customers. Kim also mentions the fact that some of the alpha units of the Tre fuel cell version are actually expected to be delivered to Anheuser-Busch and TTSI this month, which is going to be yet another huge milestone for Nikola, especially since these hydrogen trucks are exactly what's going to set Nikola apart from the rest of the industry.
Look, I mean, I think 2021, you've defied, I think, a lot of what the skeptics do. I mean, you've navigated through the storm. You've really, from a technology perspective, made significant sort of headway. But when we look at 2022, if you had to almost put it into 2 or 3 priorities or buckets, what are the keys for investors, or even internally, from a managing, from a board, from an engineering perspective, when we look at Nikola over the next year?
and deliver on the build that we commit to for 2022 BEV trucks. To be able to do that, that means that we will have to have a procured key critical components so that we can build the trucks that we commit to the marketplace, and then continue to build that backlog. We believe once we have trucks out in the market, and as we start to receive favorable reviews from our customers, we believe our backlog will expand. We want to be able to demonstrate that expansion of our backlog for Tre BEV. When it comes to Tre fuel cell, we think we'll receive very favorable review about the quality of our trucks and performance. And once again, it's building that backlog with additional customer wins and announcements. As you know, we will continue to build out our dealer network and service network. That's really important to us. We have coverage in 26 states now, Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, in Midwest. We're trying to ensure that we got better coverage in the Midwest. So having critical infrastructure with respect to repair and maintenance, especially for commercial trucks, are absolutely important, and we're doing that. And then when it comes to hydrogen infrastructure, we want to make sure that we break ground on hydrogen up. We want to execute on our temporary solution with respect to mobile hydrogen fueling solutions that we have until hydrogen stations and hubs are running. And so we are executing that, but we want to be able to announce the ground break with respect to hydrogen hub here in Arizona. And we are also planning to make an announcement with respect to hydrogen station. We've already made an announcement with respect to third-party offtake agreements, starting with WVR, and we anticipate there will be many more like that. So think about WVR project, where we have an investment into an asset where it's being repurposed to generate hydrogen. So it's going to be using petcoke gasification plant, where carbon will be captured and sequestered. This DOE is one of number one priority, and they're funding most of that transition. We will have 20% interest, and that asset will have available in terms of incentives, either Q45 or hydrogen production tax credit. And then we also have 20% offtake agreement for hydrogen. So we are confident that we'll be able to buy hydrogen at the gate, meaning at the plant, for less than $1, including transportation costs. We think we can deliver hydrogen to our dispensing stations at lower than $2. And so that's pretty exciting. If you think about in the Midwest, where you tend to have perhaps more expensive electricity costs, we can take third-party offtake agreements and able to deliver hydrogen where carbon has been sequestered. So this is ultimately 99.9999% clean and pure hydrogen for our customers in the most intense and busy Class 8 truck corridor, as well as the biggest demand for Class 8 trucks in such a concentrated area. So if we can execute that next year, then we'll be on a road to significant stabilization.
Look, I mean, Kim, I appreciate you, and obviously Dylan and the team being here. And I think just a lot of challenges, but you really, as a team, navigate a lot of it. It seems like your momentum just continuing to build into 2022, and look forward to seeing all the improvements at the plant in Arizona. Hopefully I'll be there in the coming weeks. And thanks again. I think I'm not sure if you're going to be at CES, but any investors out there, we could always set up meetings there or virtual, wherever it may be.
So here Dan Ives does a great job of summarizing the incredibly positive year it's been for Nikola in 2021. Even though most short seller arguments about this company have fallen apart this year, some people are still delusional enough to let biases and jealousy cloud their judgment about Nikola. And Kim's answers only further solidify the fact that even though delivering electric trucks is a pretty hard task, Nikola has navigated through a lot of the tailwinds last year. And to wrap up the interview, Kim mentions that some of the new catalysts for the company in 2022 are expected to be first, the opening of their first hydrogen hub in Arizona, which is going to take advantage of their partnership with TC Energy, and secondly, the announcement of new LOI agreements for the Tre BEV that Kim has said the company has already signed. And lastly, he also mentioned that the groundbreaking for their very first commercial fueling station at one of Nikola's partner trucking networks is also something they expect to announce this year. So overall, I really love the vibes in this interview. I think there's a lot of positivity around Nikola stock, and especially the institutional investor base has really caught up to the progress that this company is making, and that is certainly being reflected in what Dan Ives' thoughts are. And given this amazing progress, I would definitely agree in saying that 2022 is going to be the pivotal year for Nikola. But anyways, guys, make sure to drop me a thumbs up if you found some value from this video. Let me know down in the comment section below your guys' thoughts on this interview and Dan Ives' perspective on this company. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.